You have asked me how to make the settings for a Camera2D. After this video, you will be able to make the camera is following the player all the time around the world, that the camera is following the player with a smoothing effect, that you can zoom out and zoom in with a shift click, and that you also can zoom in and zoom out with scrolling the mouse wheel, and that you will have a visual effect that the camera is shaking when the enemy is hitting you. If you like tutorials like that, just leave a subscribe and leave a like and a comment. This will help me a lot, and let's go. The first function we want to add is that the camera is always following the player whenever the player is moving around the world. So we just right click the player node, the parent node, and add a new child node. This one is a Camera2D, and that's already it for the following function. When we just start the game, choose a character, and moving in the world, you can see the camera is just following this character whenever the player is moving, but you can also make it looks a bit nicer, and this we do with the next function. This is position smoothing, and when you activate this, the camera is not just following the player, it's following the player with a few milliseconds delays. Like you can see here, you are moving faster than the camera, but this gives a nice effect and makes the feeling of playing the game a bit better. So the next thing what you also can do is set limits to your world. For example, when you run around the world to the borders like here, you don't want that the player is seeing this gray background of Godot. Also here, what you can do here is setting borders. The borders you set in the player camera node. You go to limit, and then here's a left, top, right, bottom. I'll just 352 minus 48 are the places where my camera would hit the borders here, and actually the position will not measure from the middle point of the camera, it will always measure from the border of the camera. So when we start the game now, we just go to one of these borders right here on the left, and as you can see here, maybe it's not that clearly on the top side, here on the left side you see it better. Camera just stops following the player because here's the max range of Camera2D. So that's the last tile the camera would follow, and will come back to follow the player when the player is not in range of the border anymore. Another thing what would be nice is when the player has the option to zoom in and zoom out with the zoom vector here. So we'll just put an input to the camera. So we right click the camera and we attach a script which we just call Camera2D, or it's Camera2D create. And here we just have to write an input script. We go to project setting, project input map, and we add shift. I just delete that quickly. So, and we'll add shift, and here we just do the shift button, close, and we write the following code. It's function input event leads to what? This is the inbuilt function which will keep track of every node which will get triggered when the player is doing an input with the keyboard or with the mouse or controller. It's up to which you want to check up here. We want to check for the shift button, so we just say if event.isAction pressed shift. We want that set zoom vector to 0.5, and we also say return, so that when we just press it, we'll just do this and go out of this function. And if event is action released shift, then we want that the zoom just sets back to the original zoom. So we say set zoom vector to 1, and also return even. It's the end of this function. When we save it now and we just play the game, player has the opportunity to zoom out and zoom back in to just get a bit of overview of the whole map, and just comes back to play the game with a zoomed in version. So for zoom in and zoom out, you just need to adjust the zoom vector on the properties of the camera. The next function what I would like to add is a zoom with the mouse wheel. So we'll do it also here in the input script. We go to project settings, and we also say mouse wheel up, and we also add mouse wheel down. Just add them here with the plus sign, and just scroll up, mouse wheel up and mouse wheel down. Okay, and then we can close it, and we also track these two inputs. If event is action pressed, mouse wheel down, pass. If event dot is action pressed, mouse wheel up and pass. That's it for now, and we just need to define something what should happen when we scroll up and down, and this is first we check for the get zoom, because we don't want that the player is zooming too far in or too far out. So we say if get zoom is bigger than vector to 0.5 and 0.5, then we say set zoom get zoom minus vector to 0.1 with 0.1. So what we're gonna do here is that whenever we just scroll one tick up with our mouse wheel, we'll just set it 0.1 steps in or out, and the same thing similar to this we'll do here. So here we just say if get zoom is smaller than vector to 1, we say set zoom get zoom plus vector to 0.1 0.1. Okay, that's already it for the script. So we'll just go in game and check it. We can scroll out and we can scroll in. Okay, the next thing is a simple camera shake effect. So when the enemy is attack us, we want that the camera is shaking a bit, so the player has a bit more visual feedback from the computer that he got hit right now, not just this live bar. Then we add a shaking to this camera. So we add a function which we call function shake, which will also leads to void. And we just do the following thing. We will create a tween. A tween is property changer. For example, do very simple animations for, or you want a live bar is not just immediately changed from 100 to 0, it's just changing over time. So you can do it with a tween, and this makes it look smoother. So we will create a new tween. This we'll call shake tween equals create tween, and we give them properties. So we say shake tween dot tween property, and here we say self, because this script is on the Camera2D. We say self, we want the object self got the change, and here we choose the property we want to change. What we want to change is this offset here, and the final value has to be offset plus vector 2, and we want it a bit random. So we say vector 2 is randy range. This function is an inbuilt function which will just gives you at the end a random number between the first int you give it and the second one. We say minus 2 to minus 1, and then the y-axis we don't want to change. You can also change it, so camera will not just shake from left to right, it will also shake from up to down. When you just change this 0 to be also a randy range, then you can also make the camera shake in the y-axis. And we want that the duration is just 0.1 seconds, so it will just shake one time to the left, and we also want it will shake one time to the right, and then we want it to shake one time back to the 0 0 position. So we'll just copy paste this line, and we just make this one positive. And as we already changed the offset to -2 and 1, we will just increase the numbers to 4 and 2, so that we have the same range like we have here. And the last thing what we're gonna do is we just set it back to vector 0. So we'll delete this part and say vector 2.0, or you can also write it 0 0. It's exactly the same and will also make it work. Now we just need to call this function when the player got hit. So we go to our player script right here. We'll scroll down to the part where we check for the hit. This is right here in update health, and whenever the player got hit and loses health, we just want then the camera will shake. So we just say if amount is smaller than 0, so when it's a negative number, then we call from this camera script the shake function, and this we do by right clicking the Camera2D, access as unique name, go to player and say %Camera2D dot shake. That's actually it. When we start the game now, camera should shake when we got hit by the enemy. As you can see here, we have this visual effect when the player got hit, that the player already has this shaking camera. I hope this tutorial helps you a bit with the Camera2D node. If you have further questions, just leave them in the comments, and if you like this video, just leave a like. And also, if you want to see more tutorials about Godot, then just subscribe the channel. This will help me a lot. They are very close to the 1000 subscribers, so please hit the subscribe button, and hopefully see you again in the next video.